Hey folks, how you doing? Kunal here, Bulls on Wall Street. Hope everybody's having a wonderful evening and staying out of this mess that's a market, or at least surviving. What can we say in terms of long-term picture, right? We've broken over a very key level of support here at this 1425, and so that's really going to be kind of the mark that we have to get back to, right? And with that in the 50-day moving average, we're under quite a bit of supply at this moment. Now, I must say the one thing is we're a little bit late in the game to be shorting, right? We've come from yearly highs back down to 1400, which should provide some measure of support. If it can't, then we have the 200-day moving average in the cards. If you're looking at the Russell, right, this 200-day moving average is just kind of holding us up. Guys, one of the things about these 200-day moving averages, they are important numbers as they signify the long-term trend in terms of a stock or a market. And so they typically will act for as strong levels of support. But the one thing is, right, the more times you kind of keep coming down and testing this level, the more likely it is that you're going to break it, right? And so the Qs, right? Even the Qs have been kind of coming back and riding it a little bit. And so, every time you test a level, you're soaking up the demand in that level that comes up. And so sooner or later, you can break down. Now, the one thing is, though, when you start getting a little bit extended and a little bit oversold, the odds of having a full-on breakthrough and a flush diminish a little bit, right? Because you're coming already from a big extension. And so the one thing we have to be really careful of is if we just kind of ride along sideways for a couple days with no real attempts at a bounce back towards some level of resistance, then that's kind of going to be our sign that there's going to be a lot more downside potentially to come. Now we have an election cycle and things like that, so there'll be other things in play. But that's the only thing we can do right now with all this news and stuff too is just kind of understand what our key levels are and what we're going to do, right, if we break below or if we break back above, and have a game plan for each of them. Let's take a look at our watch list. I got KCG on watch. This one's been basing for a long time. You see it's kind of been coming back and forth, kind of testing this level. I think that, if we can kind of break over this 50-day moving average, that might trigger some buys here. And it's definitely something that if it can get over, we want to look at on smaller time frames to see if there's really anything happening with it. Zixi, this is an interesting stock. It's flagging here, and it's trying to kind of come out of this $3 range. My only worry is that this is not a very tight base here, right? It's a little bit of a slop tart, and so we have to be careful with that. BVSN, I put this on watch. They had earnings this afternoon. I saw some gapping after hours. That might be in play later tomorrow. SNSS, if we see biotechs come, right, this one's come down from nearly $7 back to support. We might get a nice bounce in it. XCO, if we see a bounce in commodities, specifically, right, oil and gas and things like that, if you're looking at it, hold on one sec, my mouse is dead. Well, if you can see this $8 level, right, it's a breakout pullback play right to support, and so I think that one could have some juice in it. A nice look here, right? It's just kind of hanging out right under highs with the market being under so much pressure. There might be something in that stock. LNG just sitting along its kind of trend line right here. It's been coiling up for a month now. If we could kind of break the top of this range, we might see a move to 1750. Otherwise, it might die down to the 200-day moving average. Hard to tell right now which way, but definitely worth, on a longer-term picture, definitely worth a shot. C-Chip, I tried this one today, and I got stopped out of it. It's still got a nice pattern here, nice volume pattern also. It's flagging for another breakout. I just got to have it timed well. ZLC, no fades in this one, just riding along the 20-day moving average, even though the market's been nasty. That one could have a chance. CHTP, if people like those base breakouts and bios, I think that this one has a chance to get to 150 quick, and if we get over it, then it could go. OCZ, it looks like the selling has subsided in this one, for now, or at least slowed down. I keep an eye on this support that's kind of been building here, and if we can hold on above it, this might be in play in the next day or two. And then SVU, we've had two kind of digestion days. If we can break over 3, that might be the trigger we need to go.